I'm going to do a video on Korean War contextual knowledge. Okay, so because I believe this is going to come out for SPQ. So when do you use contextual knowledge? Actually, you must use it always. Okay, unfortunately, you must always use it always. So read the inquiry question. Jot down the factors you know. The difference between SS and history is that you, based on the inquiry question, your mind should already be fine-tuned to the factors based on the issue that is being discussed. And these are issues have been already taught to you, so you should know what are the various issues that can ask. Jot down the factors immediately. Each source will be addressing the factors that you already know in your head. Okay? Based on the factor for each source, use your contextual knowledge to complement or contradict it. That means use your contextual knowledge to confirm it or to contradict it, to add some spice to your inferences. Okay, especially for message, message and purpose. When you're doing message and purpose, you must put the contextual information inside, which is based on your knowledge of what is happening during that time. Therefore, he said this thing. Therefore, he wants this outcome. Okay. For reliability and surprise is for the CAP, but surprise is very necessary because the only reason why you are surprised or why you may not be surprised is because you know based on what he said during that time. Therefore, he has this agenda, or this is what he's thinking, and therefore this thing is being said. Okay, so whether it confirms or contradicts what you know about the issue. So surprise is very important, that you write the contextual knowledge inside. Context. Highest level for surprise is always context. Then you use the context and you cross-ref or you CAP. Okay? Now, what type of issue can come up for Korean War? Who was to blame? So all the factors should be inside your mind already, which is US, because they want to contain communism. UN, they want to protect self-determination. Is it the Soviets because they want to spread communism? Is it China because of national security and their own interests? Is it North Korea for starting the war and for seeking help? Or is it South Korea for seeking help as well and for being very nationalistic? Okay, then next issue is, was it a proxy war or civil war? If you say civil war, the skirmishes were already happening. Kim and Rhee highly nationalistic for reunification, and the US and USSR additionally withdrew their troops. They withdrew. It's only after 1949 that they backtracked and they didn't withdraw. Okay, so all these things should be inside your mind. Proxy war is because Korea was used as a base, as a location to fight for victory in their ideologies, whether it's democracy or communism. Okay, so this should be in your mind when you do the SPQ question. So checking purpose, message, reliability. If you get a source before 1949, then defense was not that much a military priority for Stalin. Okay, because Stalin did not want to be involved in conflict with the US until the later part of 1949 and 1950. So you must check when all these things happen, atomic parity, communist victory, and the speech that pushed him to be encouraged to go into Korea, knowing that China is on his side and that he didn't need to be directly involved in order to spread communism. Okay? So how about things before 1950? Again. Okay? For the US side, not a priority as well, but it can also be a priority because containment policy was already started. Okay, Rhee was seen as aggressive, hence the troops were all withdrawn. Limited resources given to limit him. US was more keen on defense of Japan and Europe from communism. US were already wary of communism due to 1949 events like communist victory, parity, and McCarthyism. Okay, if you get sources from 50 to 53, that's the war period. US changed perspective on Korea, added importance, but they did not want to admit that they are in there for their own self-interest. This is what you must know. This is very important. They want to say that they are going on the UN's request to protect South Korea, which is one of the factors in your essay also, that the US went in only to protect South Korea and ensure its security and self-determination based on the US request. Okay? Or the US also believe in the domino effect and the fear of communism to rise. This is their own interest, but they will not admit this. Okay, because the war is a costly war and a lot of sacrifices have to be made. Additionally, you may get things like propaganda leaflets dropped in the bases. These are more for the citizens or the soldiers, so that they will be they were told that, stop fighting this war, because who are you fighting for? It's not yourself. It's for the external powers, because they want to gain influence in the region, be it the Soviet Union, China, or the US. So most of this outcome for the message or purpose is to manipulate, is to convince these soldiers not to be manipulated by external powers, because they are in fact the mastermind behind the war. Okay? And the outcome is usually for them to stop fighting. Okay? That's for 1950 to 1953. So be careful when you see the sources. For after 1953 sources, if you get things from Truman's biography and such things, is to justify involvement in Korea due to high spending and sacrifices but little success, because after the war it ended in an armistice where everything went back to square one at the 38th parallel. So Truman must justify himself and his involvement in the war. Okay, Soviets, if it's history, history will always want to portray one country as the best, as can do no wrong. So the Soviets, if it's Soviet historian writing about Soviet history, wants to portray America as aggressors, or portray Stalin as the aggressor if this is produced during the de-Stalinization period, or portray Stalin or Soviet as the aggressor if this is during the Glasnost period, where there's openness, there's more records being shown, so reliability is enhanced, of course. Okay, so these are the things that may happen for your SPQ. Next video, we're going to look at the N-level SPQ and see how you can apply all these things. Okay, thank you.